Hello everyone, I'm Clint Sedgwick. I just wanted to make this video just to talk about my opinions on the Second Amendment that some people wanted to know. And as a pro Second Amendment patriot that I am, I do live in Michigan, and I know Michigan isn't exactly big on guns like Texas is, and of course I do support Texas and being constitutional carry. And I kind of do wish Michigan was constitutional carry, where we could exercise our rights like we're supposed to. Because when you read the Second Amendment, it clearly says the right to bear arms at all times and shall not be infringed upon. And so, I know the way the law looks at it in most states, whether it's a shall issue or may issue state, wherever you live, because most of the time you have asshole governors or whatever that want to make it where a CPL would be required to exercise and practice your rights. So, but that's not what it says in the Second Amendment or the Constitution. And some people are going to be telling me, well, Clint, that just means you have the right to open carry or just to legally own guns. No, that is not what it says. Because as I said, if you read it, it clearly says the right to bear arms at all times shall not be infringed upon. And I also don't believe in gun-free zones because, well, then people don't really exactly have a good way to protect themselves. And then people are going to say, well, that just makes it so criminals don't have an easy time getting them. Criminals are going to carry guns no matter what. They're not going to follow the laws at all, and it's only putting more pressure on legalized law-abiding citizens who should have every right to practice their rights as much as possible. And if you really look at it, you're never going to stop criminals or just dumbasses in general that are going to always cause trouble. And that's what people like politicians and law enforcement should be doing. They need to go after the people doing it and all that other stuff causing trouble, and not keep trying to take away law-abiding citizens' rights and making more and more stuff required that isn't exactly constitutional. And do I think training is a good idea? Of course I do think training is a good idea. And because I am trying to be more constitutional for constitutional carry where a CPL shouldn't be required. That's why I want to make this video, just so I can speak my opinion on it, why I support it, and yes, I do agree that training is a good idea, and well, I'd recommend it, just so you can at least know more about gun safety before you actually carry a gun for your own protection and to protect those around you if you ever had to. God forbid that it actually would ever have to happen, because if it does, I know that people can have post-traumatic syndrome for the rest of their life and just feeling very guilty. So, it's getting hot in here. And I'm very glad that more states are working towards constitutional carry, because I do not agree with the federal government wanting to try to push too many laws without votes, wanting to suppress our rights and put too much stuff around it where it's not going to be as easy. And I don't care how much flack I get for speaking my mind. I'm always going to speak my mind, and even though I am a conservative, just talking and reading people's comments and stuff, I know there will be liberals that just want to argue about dumb shit, and I don't want to try to talk bad about anyone, but I'm just saying, if anyone's going to judge me, then I'm going to judge you, because you are giving me an open door to do so. And And I'm pretty sure Texas already did pass constitutional carry back in September 1st. I think Kentucky is another one. I'm not sure which all states are constitutional carry. I know Arizona is definitely constitutional carry well, technically, Arizona, out of every state that would be the most gun friendly, Arizona, that actually is the most gun friendly state in all the United States. Um, However, for California and New York, New Jersey, Maryland, and I think Delaware, because there's only 5 may issue states where they get to decide if they want to give you a CPL or concealed pistol license to carry a gun. And what this bullshit is like how you really have to prove you need one if you live in those states. Like they're not just going to give it to anyone. Because I do find that to be a bunch of horse shit where they really want to stop you from doing it as much as they can. And like where they make it very hard to buy a gun or own one too. And that's what also pisses me off about certain shit, like where you have certain companies that are very anti-military. Like, for example, I never really even drank that much coffee because I just not a big coffee drinker, but I know for a fact I'm never going to be buying shit from Starbucks, for example, because from what I heard, they are anti-military, and that pisses me off when people disrespect our veterans for who actually fought for our country to defend it from the enemy and made our nation the great country that it is today. Do I support open carry where you just have to show that you carry, well, that you are carrying one? I mean, yes, I do support it because it's also in the Second Amendment of your rights. And like I said, I also don't think CPLs need to be required for concealed carry. Because if I knew a bunch of people were carrying guns around me, no, it wouldn't bother me at all. Because it don't bother me unless if someone was acting very violent, belligerent, and wanting to start trouble like that, then there would be a problem. Would I be calling the police? Well, that depends. If I had the opportunity to get out of there and stuff, yeah, probably. But if I ever had to defend myself, I would. But I'm just saying, I'm not going around looking for trouble. And that's something that people that don't like guns get very confused by, unless you're more or less a politician who tries to make up a bunch of horseshit stories, but only for your own political gain. And I know a bunch of dirty shit about this type of stuff that you hear about. And yes, I do think anti-gun groups are an abomination, or like just, I don't really know why they think they need to take our guns. And that's one other thing. Nobody is taking my guns, that's for sure. I don't know if any of you have an app called Amino, but I'm on a community called Conservative Central where I made a poll asking people if they support constitutional carry or not. If you go on there, you'll see that I made a poll where it has 3 choices. Yes, where it has an American flag design skull and 2 M4s or M16s in a cross style, and then if you decide no, well, then you're a Biden supporter, and where he's showing a t-shirt with the hammer and sickle traitor, and maybe where it has Trump, like, just leave your opinion on what you think, if you do support it but have your own opinion. I was going to make a poll on my YouTube channel here to also see what people thought for constitutional carry, and as I said, I'm always going to support it. And I also don't think there should be gun zones because people need to defend themselves, period. And not just with guns for carrying around, open or concealed, but in Michigan, I don't know if it's in every state, where they took away CCWs just to conceal carry regular weapons. Like if you were going to carry a I don't know, like a pocket knife concealed, or like just a regular knife like this under your coat if you had that type of concealed permit. And also, another thing too is people don't know is like black powder revolvers or pistols. From what I've seen, they're not technically firearms. They're more antique firearms. And I think you did need to use the CCW to conceal carry one of those. But since they don't issue CCWs no more, I don't know like if anyone would be able to conceal carry a black powder revolver in states where they don't issue CCWs now. So, this is why I will always speak my mind on these things, because I don't agree with them, and I do think that they're really trying to take our rights away because they want to make it where it's very much harder to do so. If you look at it, like when you were younger, it probably there wasn't a bunch of this horse shit that you have to go through like you do now. And that's another thing too, like the more restrictions you put for buying guns, then the more criminals are gonna profit off that, like selling them illegally. Or like if some people think that if guns are taken away where people can't legally own them, then gun violence will stop. No, that's gonna really skyrocket. And if someone broke into your house with a gun and you couldn't legally own one, period, if you ever committed crimes or not, but you just can't legally own them at all, well then how are you going to stop an intruder if they have a gun because they're not following the law? You see? You're not. And that's what also pisses me off, like where if someone breaks into your house, you can't use a gun unless they have one. The way I see it is anyone that breaks into your house, they do need to be fucked up bad. Shot or just fucked up, period. Because what fucking right do they have breaking into your own home? And I'm not a CPL instructor or nothing. I'm just saying that if anyone wants to support me, then thank you, because I am very much behind constitutional carry, not just with guns, but regular weapons too, because self-defense is one of the main things that was built on this country, and not where there were requirements to do so, because the only one that we seem to have permission from our government is the Second Amendment, where they want to make requirements for the Second Amendment where you have to be old enough, or where some people that are 18 might not be mature enough. Well, there was also where when you had Prohibition, they wanted to take that away for a while, and then it didn't work. And now sometimes for a while it was 18 for a while, and then it went back to 21, and that's also very wrong, where people think they can control people's attitudes or whatever doing that. And because they need to realize they just can't control people like that. It only goes on for so long until they start refusing and standing up to this type of thing or anything like it. And if I was president, I would be as constitutional as possible, and I want to work with the people themselves. And some people are going to be, I get it, they don't like hearing my opinion. Well, I'm not going to quit doing it, so tough luck. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Second Amendment all the way. And if I do ever get into office, like I made in another video, I'd like to really expand upon the Second Amendment to add more to it, where there was more rights and something that everyone will be happy with. And for those that don't like guns or any weapons, you know you don't have to buy one, because you're not going to be outlawing it for everyone. I don't know why that never crosses their mind. If they don't like something, they don't have to buy one. But why do they need to make it where nobody can enjoy it? Because that's what I never understand about the left, or all these social justice dumbasses. Or how Trump recently called General Mark Miley a fucking idiot like he is. Unlike General Flynn, who actually was a true patriot. But anyways, enough of my rambling. I hope you enjoyed this video. If I ever get to be president or any type of leader, I'd really like to make big changes for the better of our country and for the people. The way I see it is, don't put your faith and trust in government. Let me help you. Like where I represent the people. Because in America, we don't worship the government. We worship God, our patriotism, not as loyalists. So thank you for watching. Second Amendment, constitutional carry. So if you want to share this video with other true patriots like gun-loving Texans for the Second Amendment and true patriotism, please do. I'd like that. But anyway, I'll see you in the next video, and I'll try to find more ideas to expand upon the Second Amendment and for all true patriotism.